Hi, and welcome back to your English 2 classroom. This is your screencast for September the 21st. This is the first day of the second 6 weeks, and this screencast is mainly for my remote learners, but of course, if anyone else needs it, if you're just absent, um, this will help you understand exactly what went on in class today. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you about is that you do have a new section of your agenda to look at, so I'm going to show you how you get that. So when you open your agenda, which is in Google Classroom at the top of the classwork page, this was the first 6 weeks agenda, but notice that you have tabs across the bottom. So you're going to click on the second 6 weeks. And I'm pretty proud of myself because I do have the entire 6 weeks planned out in the agenda. I have not put in the videos for every day because I usually do those one day ahead. And put the video. So this video, I'll be putting a link right here, and you will have already clicked on it. So if you look at the assignments, these should be very familiar to you. We are working through Unit 2 pretty much step by step, just like we did Unit 1, working through the online textbook. I have added in some more Grammar Studio and Level Up tutorials, but it's going to stay pretty much the same format. We read, we do the activities that go along with that selection, and then we take a test over that selection, okay? So if you want to work ahead, my remote learners or face-to-face learners, either one, if you want to work ahead, that is fine with me. However, just realize that I do give you better instructions, the day of with the videos. But if you think you don't need that, to wait for that, and you want to go ahead and work ahead, you can. Just keep in mind that I won't be grading those assignments. Let's say you got really busy today and you did your assignments for the whole week except for your test, because I won't have that posted. But I am going to try to get the ed assignments posted and the lessons in Google Classroom posted for the entire week. If you want to go ahead and get all those done, that's fine. But until everybody else gets them done, I'm not going to grade them. So don't expect me to grade them when you get them completed. I'll grade them when they're scheduled. Okay. So like I said, we've got assignments in here for the entire 6 weeks. There's a project down here at the end that you'll probably want to wait for instructions on. All right, so today we're going to reflect on the first 6 weeks. We're going to record data for Unit 1. My face-to-face learners are writing it in their textbook. There's a few of you face-to-face learners that have your textbook with you, and in the back of it you have a response log like the one that you filled out online. So what I'm having them do is just write their test scores down in the back of their textbook, and just set some goals for how they want to how well they want to do on the next test, and what they need to do to do that well on the next test, and all of that. So just reflecting on the scores that they have gotten, that you've gotten for this first 6 weeks, and then set some goals for yourself for the second 6 weeks. So you could just open up a Google Doc and do that. That's just for you. You don't have to turn that in. And then the next thing is you're going to go to the textbook. This assignment will be in Google Classroom. And the way I'm starting to assign them, if I assign it from here into Google Classroom, it means that you can only see that one page at a time. So that might eliminate a little bit of the confusion about what I want you to do for that day, because in your edition, I don't think you'll be able to scroll through to the next page. I could be wrong about that. But anyway, this is the page that you're going to do today. You don't have to move ahead, and there's not a whole lot to do on it. So look back at your scores, click on your score tab in Ed, and look at your test scores for this 6 weeks, and just reflect on those. Think about what you need to do better this 6 weeks. You might want to look back at some of your daily grades as well. Um, which activities in the book are you having difficulty with? And what do you need to work harder on? Okay. So we're talking about the new unit question today by one of my favorite. It's a quote by one of my favorite writers, Henry David Thoreau. The question is not what you look at, but what you see. Actually, that's not the essential question, but that's a quote from Henry David Thoreau. And then the essential question is, how does our point of view shape what we think we know? So, a person's point of view. So, our background, where we come from, our own experiences, how we see the world, how we see life. How does our point of view think shape what we think we know about the world? Okay. You're going to watch this stream to start video. We just have one of these for each unit. It's very short, couple of minutes long. So watch the video. It will help you kind of get a grasp on what this unit is about. Remember that there's a theme for the unit, and all of the selections that we read will be related to that theme, and you'll have that response log. And we'll talk about that in a minute. You'll have that response log that you'll be keeping um, notes in, and that you'll be filling out about how each selection relates to that unit question. Here's your vocabulary for the unit. We're not going to do word networks this time. What I want you to do is just take a note, open a Merriam-Webster tab, and write the definition in a note for each word. So add a note and either type or copy and paste the definition for each one of these. So here are our words: differentiate, incorporate, mode, orient, and perspective. So those aren't words that are outside of your normal vocabulary. You've heard those and probably used them before. So just do a definition for each one of these words. Okay. In this unit, you will explore how individual perspectives shape our beliefs. As you read, you will visit the essential question and gather your ideas about it in a response log. At the end of the unit, you will have an opportunity to write a short story about how things are not as they first appear, and we are going to be doing that short story. Filling out the response log will help you prepare for this writing task. So today, what I want you to do is go ahead and open a new response log. So you click on the response log link, and then open it with Cami. But what you're going to need to do is open a new copy. And actually, you don't have to open a new copy because this is a new response log. So this is Unit 2 response log, and I would name it. I do want you to rename it because a lot of students were having trouble finding it in their drive this 6 weeks, the first one, because it was such a weird name. So Unit 2 response log. Okay, and then you'll always be able to find that easily in your drive. So now it's automatically saved in your drive, and you'll be able to come back to it. We're going to read from Total Eclipse, and then you're going to record your ideas about how each of these texts relate to this essential question. Okay, we're going to read The Night Face Up. We're going to read the poem called Mirror. And we're going to read these two paired passages: The World as 100 People and A Contribution to Statistics. So those are the 5 things that we're going to read. These two go together. Then you'll have an independent reading, 2 independent readings that you're going to do, and they're in your textbook as well. We'll talk about that later. You're going to write a story, you're going to write a poem, you're going to do a podcast. And so we will be talking about all of those things this 6 weeks. Make sure that you get yourself off to a good start. Some of you that are remote learning are doing awesome. I never have to email you about anything that you're behind on. You just get your work done automatically. Some of you are like the ideal remote learners, and some of you are struggling. I think maybe you have a hard time having the discipline to because it's hard when you're at home because we want to watch TV, or we want to sit on the couch, we want to play with the dogs, or whatever it is that you've got going on. Maybe you're working, maybe you've got things that you have to help with around the house, but you need to really make sure that you set aside a certain time. I would strongly encourage you to get yourself organized and have a routine that you do every day as far as your schoolwork. I would encourage you to pick a time and pick a spot. Maybe, if your room's a complete mess, clean up one spot in your room where you have room to put your book and your computer, and because there's all kinds of things that you could say, oh, I don't feel like moving all my clothes right now, I don't have a place to do my work, I'll do it later. So I would really encourage you just to establish a place to do your work that's dedicated to doing your work, and a time every day to work on your work. Okay. So if you're struggling, I will help you in any way that I can, but you've got to do your work. I can't grade something that you haven't turned in. Okay. So let's get ourselves together and have some discipline as far as the time and the place that you're going to do your work, and just make it a habit. Okay. A few weeks of doing something the same way all the time, and you will have a good established habit. Anyway, I think that's all I wanted to talk to you about today. Basically, you watch the Stream to Start video after you've reflected on your grades from last 6 weeks and set some goals for yourself. Watch the Stream to Start video, do these definitions, and should have already saved your new response log. And that's it for today. And if you want to look at the agenda and work on your lessons, you can always go. If you want to do your work for tomorrow, you can always go to just log in and go to the Discover tab and just click on Unit 2. And when you click on Unit 2, it just opens this Student Edition. And this is how you get to your assignments. If you see something that's on the agenda and I haven't assigned it to you yet, let's say that we're going to do the Analyze the Text for this first story. Of course we are. What if I don't have it assigned to you in Google Classroom or even in Ed? You can still go in and do it, and it's going to show me that you did it. So you just click on that YouTube, it'll open the textbook, and you scroll through to which page you want to work on. And that's all you have to do if you want to work ahead. All right, well, I'm looking forward to the second 6 weeks, and I'm hoping that all of my remote learners will do as well as some of my remote learners have been doing. So let's get it together and get the work done, okay? And learn those skills. And I will talk to you later.